I'm Jeff Philbin, and get your appetite in gear as we fire up today's dinner DeeAs and hit the road to deliciousness. Our destination today, this dish. It's chicken with a curry-flavored twist with a protein-packed side and rice that you'll want to cook this way every time. Joining us in the Dinner DeeAs kitchen today is a local legend, Christopher Artrip, executive chef with the Black Pearl in Dunedin, with just 12 sought-after tables, and which also recently just got a facelift too. So I got to ask a real question too. How'd you guys do with the storm?
We did pretty well with it. Just
Good.
lost power for a few days and
Okay.
a little fence damage, but
Okay.
nothing too serious.
Nothing too serious. Today, Chef Christopher is sharing a recipe for curry honey glazed chicken with a chickpea ragu and coconut rice, which was a favorite of someone really near and dear to you with your family.
Yes, my mother-in-law, who passed away about 3 years ago. But it was her favorite dish, and it was...
And is that your mother-in-law there?
Yes, over there on the right.
Right on, right on. So we get to be able to celebrate her memory. We get to live in those memories of this dish every time. And so how do we really get to celebrate her right now? How do we get this started?
So we'll start by adding a little olive oil.
Okay.
Throw the garlic in there. Use that.
And this is going to be the base for this ragu.
Yes.
Now, what is a ragu? For those that might not know that term and they only see ragu and R-A-G-U and they think like that's the tomato sauce inside the pasta section of where you might get a pasta sauce. What is a ragu for you in this kitchen term?
It's basically just kind of a loose hodgepodge or oleo of different ingredients. And kind of, it's like usually like a saucy vegetable stewy type thing.
Okay. So it's got purpose. It's not just the red jar off the bottom of the shelf. Okay, very good. So what are we looking here with our onions and our garlic here?
Probably going to turn it down actually a little bit. You just kind of want to sweat them a little bit till they become translucent, semi-translucent. Because after this, we're going to throw in our red peppers over here.
So it's going to be layers of flavor that just really kind of just keep going and build off of this base. Okay.
I'm going to get a few more of these peppers going here.
Now, what type of peppers do you have over there?
They're just little mini sweet peppers. You can pick them up at Publix. I don't know if they're just a little bag of peppers.
Okay.
They're pretty versatile. You can stuff them. Sometimes they're good smoked, wrapped in bacon.
Ooh, come on now.
Yeah.
I can get down with that part of it.
Yeah.
I love that. Now, these are still sweating down. Our peppers are sliced up, ready to go for the next part. What do we need to do with rice for this dish?
So rice, we've already got it boiling here. Our coconut milk, water, and a little bit of oil.
Okay. What's the mixture in a blend right there? Is it like a 50-50 coconut milk to water? What's going on there?
It's a little less coconut milk than water.
Okay.
It's basically 1 can of coconut milk and then 2 1/4 cups of water.
And what do you find is the purpose in that flavor profile that you're going to get with having not just straight water or maybe a broth that most people might also do? Coconut milk seems like, hey, this is kind of foreign to me right now.
Yeah, this is kind of like a hodgepodge of different cultures here. The rice is more my Panamanian side. My grandmother used to make coconut milk or coconut rice, but she would actually grate the coconut.
Really?
So I'm kind of cheating here by using it.
Did you do that as a kid with your grandma like that?
Nah, she wouldn't let me.
She wasn't, okay. She wouldn't even let you in the kitchen do that part?
No.
All right. She was like, my way, I know what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
Chris, go play with the toys. All right. But now we get to play with new toys to be able to bring this together. So what do we need to do next with this?
So we're just going to stir in our rice here.
Okay. What type of rice are we adding?
I like basmati, but you can use any other type of white rice, but you would have to change the ratio of the coconut milk and water. Okay. If you do use another one.
And basmati for you, what do you like about the basmati rice in this dish?
I just like the nuttiness of it over some of the other ones, just to go along with the nuttiness of the coconut.
Okay. to make Chef Christopher's curry honey glazed chicken for your dinner. Grab the recipe at our website, dinnerdias.com. If you know about QR codes, we have one, and it's in the corner of the screen. And if you scan it, you can follow along with the recipe while you watch it, or if you want to print it later, right there for you. Okay. Now we've got a glaze that we've got to start making too. So what do we got to do there?
Very simple. We'll start with our honey.
Okay.
I use clover honey just because it's a little, wildflower seems a little too floral.
Okay.
For this dish.
For this dish.
Anyways. It's kind of just something base to where you want the curry to come through.
Okay.
It's a red curry paste.
And that's a red curry paste that you just added?
It's like a Thai style.
Okay.
And then a little cilantro.
Very nice. Now, what type of flavors would we be getting from that red curry paste? Is it going to be spicy? Is it going to be, what do we got going on there?
It's not too spicy.
Okay.
But it's there's a lot of lemongrass. Lemongrass is like the more predominant flavor.
Okay. So it's going to have a nice little bright
garlic.
punch behind it as well.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
That's it.
That's it. That's simple. Okay. So then, translucent enough over here?
Yeah.
We're good?
Yeah, I think we're going to add our peppers now.
Okay.
Give it a little stir.
And what type of consistency are you looking for the peppers now?
You're just really kind of getting it started because you're going to throw in the chickpeas.
Okay.
Just cook it for about a minute.
Okay. So we're just kind of softening them just a
Yeah,
little
just
bit,
softening
really
it
not
up.
trying to bring too much heat behind
You
it.
want still a little bit of crunch to them. Not
Yeah.
crunch, but...
A beautiful
Body.
texture, body. Sure, sure.
So this is ready. We can turn it down to a simmer.
Okay.
Maybe just to
Now,
3.
how'd you come up with this type of a recipe?
It's just kind of... Actually, we had like stuff in our cupboard and just being in a rush, coming home from our son's baseball games and trying to get a dinner together in 30 minutes. And
Because it's hard sometimes. It's hard to really think about this
Yeah.
stuff, to really say, hey, look, I got traffic, I've got work, I've got this, I've got that. But family nucleus coming together around
Yeah.
the table, that is unbreakable, my friend. And you find ways. So this was just out of inspiration of those kind of moments.
Yeah.
I love that, man. Now, kids, you said that you were doing this for baseball. Where are the kids at right now in life?
My son's 21.
Okay.
My daughter is about to have her second child here.
Right on,
February.
man. That's awesome.
So I'm a grandpa now.
You're a
So,
grandpa right
yeah.
now. So you're a grandpa to
Penelope.
Penelope. And how old is she right now?
She is 9 months.
Come on, that's awesome. Very cool. Very cool. All right, so what happens next?
We can go ahead and start throwing in our chickpeas.
Now, these are just straight out of the can, rinsed, unrinsed.
Drain.
What do you do? Okay.
I just drain the liquid.
You just drain them, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's I usually don't rinse them, especially for a sauce. Maybe if it was for a salad, you don't want to get some of that moisture out of
Sure,
there.
sure. And that was just what, a little cilantro too?
Yeah, a little cilantro.
Okay.
You know, I'm just gonna throw it all in there.
Yeah, I love cilantro. You like
Yeah.
cilantro?
Yeah. There we go. A little pinch of salt.
All right.
And then our tomato sauce.
Any-
Tomato.
Any particular tomato sauce you like for this?
I like the pommy, the kind that comes in the. It doesn't have any basil or anything in there, but it comes in a carton.
Okay.
I use tomato sauce because it's basically already cooked, so you don't have to sit there and simmer, and that's why this dish comes together so quickly.
And is there anything else that we need to do for this?
I think that is it.
All right.
I might finish later. We'll taste it later. Maybe we'll add a little bit of the curry
Cool.
glaze in there for a little sweetness.
I like that. All right. Well, while we cook down this ragu, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Chef Chris shares his recipe for a simple homemade spice rub, and we get our chicken on the stove ahead on Dinner Diaz. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs. Chef Christopher Artrup is with us today from the acclaimed Black Pearl in Dunedin, which one Yelp reviewer describes as having the highest quality cuisine I have experienced. And he's here today taking us off menu with a dish that was a favorite of his late mother-in-law, curry honey glazed chicken with a chickpea ragu and coconut rice. Before the break, we started our ragu, sauteing garlic and onions, while we cooked up our basmati rice in a mixture of water, coconut milk, just a little oil. Then we made our curry honey glaze, combining red curry paste, clover honey, and cilantro. And finally, we finished up the ragu, adding peppers, chickpeas, tomato sauce, and cilantro, which smells absolutely fantastic right now.
Thank you.
Now, we've got a glaze here that we've got to add in.
Yeah, it's just some of the glaze for the chicken, primarily, but if you want to sweeten this up a little bit, it adds a nice little flavor in there as well.
Now, I gotta ask you, as the chef that you are, you ever play around with that glaze for another kind of recipe, or do anything kind of fun with the family for it?
Yeah, it's really good on chicken wings.
Chicken wings, all right. So
Yeah.
I like that. What's going on next?
So next we have our spice rub here,
Okay.
which I already pre-mixed. It's a little salt, pepper, paprika, and yellow curry powder.
Very nice.
We're just going to evenly season our breasts here.
And again, it's not hot.
Yeah, it's not hot. It's just spiceful.
It's got spiceful.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. And I had to compliment you, my friend, because these are the cleanest chicken breasts I have ever seen. There is no trace of fat anywhere. So you must have taken the steps to really trim and really clean that up.
Yeah, I pre-cleaned them.
How important is that?
You want to get most of the fat off of there, if not all of it. And then there's also some cartilage usually, depending on what you buy. Sometimes you can get with the ribs on and the skin on too, so you want to trim all that too. But
so we shouldn't assume that the butcher that you may have, or maybe the grocery store, is really going to take that extra step. So how do you do that? What are you trying to do within that too, by the way?
Just any tiny little loose fat. Just gonna want to clean it up and kind of get them into an even cooking area. That way they all cook at the same time.
Okay.
That way you don't have one that's dry and one's raw, and so having them even is also
a very important piece of this. Because for Chef Christopher's tasty take on chicken, grab the recipe for his curry honey glaze, the chickpea ragu, and everything else that we're making at our website, dinnerdeas.com. Just scan the QR code to get there. All right. What's next?
We're just going to throw a little olive oil in the pan.
Now, with this dry marinade that we have here, this can go straight into the pan. We don't have to wait for all those flavors to come together. We can go straight into a pan.
Straight into the pan.
Love it. Because no one's got time for that one for this dish. They want to get back. You were saying you were doing this after baseball practice. So there's homework that's got to be done.
Yes. Yes.
Now, how long will these be per side?
I usually do it about 3 minutes.
3 minutes per side?
Yeah. And then 3 minutes per side, on the first side, and then we'll flip it over and then also put it in the oven to ensure that it's fully cooked.
Very good. Well, we'll keep it on this side here because we're going to take a quick break while we get the chicken going. But when we come back, how to add the glaze and get it to the plate. Ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs. Chef Christopher Artrup is with us today from the Black Pearl in Dunedin, sharing a dish he does at home for the family. His flavor fiesta of curry honey glazed chicken with chickpea ragu and coconut rice, which has a bit of everything for everyone, but it comes together so quickly. Before the break, we added a little of our curry honey glaze into the ragu and continue to cook that down. And coated our chicken breast with a spice rub of curry powder, paprika, salt, and pepper. They cooked them up in an oven-proof skillet for about 3 minutes during the break, which we've already tackled right over here. We've taken care of that part. You think it's ready for that flip?
Yeah, I think we're ready to flip it.
And what are you looking for here?
Just a nice even color.
Okay.
A little golden brown.
Oh,
we're just going to flip it. going to put a little water in there.
What does the water do for you by adding it into the pan here?
It kind of steams it from the bottom.
Okay.
And protects it from the other side from burning. When we put it in the oven. So now we're going to put the glaze on here. Put a nice, generous amount.
Very nice. So then you're going to be able to have liquid that's going to cook from the top and the bottom. So you're creating that little bit of moisture from the bottom to make sure that it's going to cook through, not burn the pan. But then that glaze is also going to almost reduce too.
Yeah, it's gonna work in there and kind of make a stock as well. And then the top's gonna glaze over, kind of how you do with ribs, and kind of sticks in there.
Very cool. Now we're gonna drop these into the oven. How long are they gonna go in there for?
3 or 4 minutes, depending on your oven at home.
Okay.
It usually doesn't take that long.
Cool. Let's get these bad boys into the oven.
All right.
Because if you want to make that chicken, this ragu, and not forgetting the coconut rice for your dinner tonight, all the recipes are ready for you to grab at dinnerdeas.com. Just scan the QR code to find it. All right. Now, the rice, we started on very early on to make sure we got that going with just that coconut milk, that water, that oil. You think it's ready?
Oh, yeah.
And how do you know that it's really ready? Wow, that smells really good.
Yeah, you could see that your rice is not hard little. Doesn't look like it just came out of the box. This is almost like a sticky rice, the way that this comes out. So it's not super, it is fluffy, but it's just a different consistency than most rices.
Okay.
Because of the coconut milk. Yeah, color on the bottom there.
I love that. This is a new way to do rice. I mean, people think like, hey, I gotta just do the water, or hey, sometimes I like to add a stock behind it to give it a little more flavor, but coconut milk changes this.
Yeah, that's good.
Now, we got this ragu here, and like I have been on the right side the entire time, and it's like, and I say that, not just right in direction, but the right side because like, it's literally just coming to me right now. You ready for a taste on this one here? Because this is like killing me to go for it.
Let's go for it.
You know, we just need a little quality control check. That's all it is, just a little quality control.
It's good.
You like?
Yeah, and at this point you can either use some of this to sweeten it up depending on, but we already put some in there. I don't think it needs any more.
So this is it. This is the family favorite. This is the way it is.
Yep.
Come on now. Because if you want to make this dish for your dinner, we want to know. Take a photo before you eat it all and share it with us at facebook.com/dinnerdeas. That's what Chuck did. Hi, Chuck. He told us his wife Patty made the pancit bihon shared by Chef Veronica Meneses from Manila Eats, and he said it was delicious. Wow, that looks absolutely fantastic.
That looks great.
I mean, I'm ready for that one. Well done, you two. That was probably a dinner date and a 2 as well, so can't fault them for that part. That's even better. Well, our chicken's finished up in the oven. We've got to take one last break, and we'll show you how it all looks when it's done right ahead on Dinner Diaz. Welcome back to Dinner Diaz. And if you think you've seen every kind of chicken dinner there is, well, we got something new for you, my friends. Chef Christopher Artrip from Dunedin's Black Pearl is here sharing a recipe from home. A curry honey glazed chicken with a chickpea ragu and coconut rice. Getting those final touches, that chicken coming right out of the oven like that, man, that looks fantastic. Oh yeah, and just for added measure, we're gonna add a little more of the glaze to it.
Might as well throw a little more on there.
Might as well. How do you know it's done?
Chicken needs to be cooked to 165 degrees.
Okay.
But I just know from touch.
You know from touch, but if someone at home didn't have that feeling for touch, thermometer is good to use?
Yeah.
It should be used?
Sure.
Very cool.
Absolutely.
You ready to eat?
Yeah.
All right. Now, Chef, now that you've joined us here in the Dinner Dish kitchen, can I be honest with you and like have a confession time? Mm-hmm. When you weren't looking, I totally stole a bite of the rice. And I'm going to tell you right now, my friend, I don't know if there's any other way that I'm going to do rice. Like that was already a little tease of what's to come, and I'm not going to lie, I loved it. All right. Well, now where should we begin? Where do you go first on these flavors?
Might as well just cut a little piece of chicken off and And get a little bit of everything on your fork there.
So what are we tasting for?
Just that you taste the coconut, the curry, a little bit of everything, that glaze, obviously. Doesn't take long, but it tastes like something that's been on the stove for...
Totally. With the layers of flavor that are behind that, it feels like it's something that would have taken hours to have made, but it was 30 minutes. 30 minutes to be able to do something like this that takes you around so many different flavors behind it. I'm going back for that rice, because that right there was a surprising factor. And now I'm going for that carpaccio. Is there one piece of this that you really are like, wow, I have to have that bite that every time?
Not really, just everything all together.
It is absolutely so good. Man, this was a real treat. Thanks again to Chef Christopher Archer. A link to the recently facelifted Black Pearl is at our website, dinnerdeas.com, along with all the recipes from today's show. I'm Jeff Philbin. Thanks for watching, and see you next time for more Dinner Deas.